But addiction it belongs in a subset of neurodiversity, which is something we call neurocomplexity. And neurocomplexity, it's referencing for the diversity in nervous systems, because there's diversity in skin and hair and nails and preferences and orientations. There's diversity amongst people. And so, yes, there is diversity in your nervous system wiring and how those wires are connected to your brain. It's not this pathological paradigm that we thought before. We're learning that there is diversity in nervous systems. And some of the symptoms of that diversity in your nervous system has been labeled as different disabilities. And so some of them are common, like ADHD, OCD, autism, dyslexia, all those things. So we have a name for those. And in the past, those names have explained these outliers, like the kid who couldn't sit and attend, and like the person with autism who can't talk or is super high functioning, and it doesn't really account for the experience of all of those places in between. Now, with neural complexity or things like addiction, it's not only like, am I maybe in between somewhere of the ADHD gradient scale? Because if I'm not red and I'm not orange, I could be anywhere in between red and orange, orange, red, any of those things. So if I'm not right on the mark of ADHD and I have some of that and I have a little bit of OCD and over here a little bit of giftedness, the spaces which those things overlap, there's no name for it at all. We call that neural complexity. And we find addiction in the center often of people who have neural complexities. So yes, I'm saying that just because education and awareness helps with how you have the expectation you might have out of your relationship and out of yourself. That would be the one thing there. The second piece to this is when you are healing yourself and you're implementing the tools and the skills, the people in your environment start to shift and you see changes, because that's where your energy is concentrated, and energy grows where it goes. There is something called a torus field, and you actually start to put out different energy. And the strongest, there's a science study that talks about the strongest heartbeat in a petri dish. They took like cells from different hearts and they were all beating different, different rates, different beats. And the strongest heartbeat in that petri dish, the other cells over time began beating on the beat of that heartbeat. So the strongest heartbeat will become, right, the lead. That's what happens when you start to work on yourself. Your energy shifts and your energy becomes the stronger energy in your environment.